Three, two, one. Hey, it's Wild Josh from Geek-Cetera, and I'm joined by Kyle and Chase, and we're going to talk about episode 3 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, let's get geeky. So, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but let's get into it now live. What are your thoughts on this episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I
Chase?
said it's the second best episode. So episode 1 was pretty mediocre. Episode 2 was good. Episode 3 was okay. I didn't love it as much as I liked the second episode, but I don't know. It's just okay for me. Nothing too special.
Kyle?
I liked it. I thought it was the best of the three, but I mean, it was okay. It's lukewarm as a series in general. What I thought was interesting, just about the series overall, is what Ezra's brother
Joa.
what Joa was saying last week about how the cooler of the two heroes, at least from a ability standpoint, is Falcon, right? Because of the wings. But like episode 1, it seemed like you guys all agreed that the better action sequences were with Winter Soldier. So it's like, even with the better character, at least better abilities, and the guy you would want to be, it's not a great show for the Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, the series is okay, but I thought this was the best of the three.
I did not care for this episode. And it's funny because I know that you guys were kind of down on the first episode. I really liked the feel of the first episode, and it was a little bit more emotional, a little bit more impactful, I felt. And then every episode since, I feel, has gotten less and less that way. To this one, some of the choices that they had these heroes making were just made me scratch my head and be like, seriously?
So, one of the things I didn't like in the first episode was, first of all, the show is The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which makes it seem like it's a story that should be combined. I feel like if they wanted to have the two separated and do the Falcon story of him getting back to normal life and the Winter Soldier story, that's like a different series. I didn't really feel attached to Sam's story in that first episode, but I did feel attached to Bucky's story in that first episode. I thought that Bucky was the highlight of that first episode, in my opinion, and that was the thing I liked from that one. And then they kind of came together, and the second episode played off of their relationship with each other and the mission and all these things kind of happening, and that's why I thought episode 2 was better. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like maybe it was more particularly with Bucky's character and the trying to mend the fences and correct what he had done wrong, having his little list of things that he wanted to kind of like correct. Then in the second episode, they were kind of getting more away from that, and then this one completely away from it. And really, the only mention of it was when Zemo found his book, and his reaction to that was like, "I'm going to kill you." And I was just like,
I think that your argument too could be that in fact this was a step backwards because he had to act like the Winter Soldier again and be violent and brutal and heartless. So
yeah. And I just didn't care for the what are we gonna do? First off, why is it like it's only them two? Like, why is everything so disjointed now?
What do you mean?
I don't like. They're only them two on Earth. Like, there's no other superheroes around. Like, where's Hulk at this point? We know Cap's gone, or the original Cap's gone, and Iron Man's gone. But where's the rest of the heroes? Where's Hawkeye at this point in the series? I know they're not in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but it just seems like now they're going after these new bad guys and trying to. I don't know why they're doing it alone. They seem overmatched at a lot of points, and then their big idea, instead of going like, "Hey, we're overmatched. We don't know which way to go." Instead of going, "Hey, let's get some backup. Let's go call Hawkeye. Let's go call Banner," they go, "Let's break Zemo out of prison."
Well, here's the thing. Like, the thing with Zemo is Zemo's not really there to help them. He's just there for intel. they had no leads on Hydra and even like where to find the serum. That's why they needed Zemo and his contacts. So like asking, Hawkeye or Bruce Banner to come help you out, especially, and it kind of feels like after Endgame, it feels like those guys kind of retired. But
I don't know.
yeah,
I just don't love the whole decision of breaking Zemo out of prison. And then I did think one thing I did kind of like is when they went to this new country that I've never heard of, Madripoor. I thought that place kind of was neat and like colorful and like exotic looking and like,
cyberpunk.
okay, this is kind of like, like we got Wakanda and Black Panther and was it Infinity War or Endgame? I can't remember which one. And that was like a cool foreign place that we hadn't seen before, and it was new. And then we get this place, Madripoor, which was kind of neat as well, and it different than the Earth that we know, and kind of a neat little take. But and there's a lower class and the upper class. I thought that part was kind of neat. But then all of a sudden, like they're in trouble, and Sharon Carter shows up. Like, how did she know they were there? Like, I don't know. It was just a lot of convenience with that whole thing. And then I don't know. The super soldier serum stuff is kind of interesting, I guess. Like trying to figure that out. You're starting to get some answers, and then Zemo just kills that guy, takes him out, and it's like, why? I just feel like some of the storytelling is just not enjoyable.
I just feel like the way they're setting it up, it feels like Zemo is very much going to try and kill Bucky.
Like, oh yeah, Zemo is a bad dude.
He definitely is a bad dude, but like, I just don't like the lack of concern that they have with him kind of hanging around, because his entire goal is to wipe out like this superhuman race. Sam is only special because of his tech, kind of like a Tony Stark, but Bucky is still very much a super soldier with a vibranium arm. Like, that goes against what Zemo's perfect world is. So, I don't know.
Oh, and speaking of Zemo, and I know I've read some stuff on this, but I just thought it was a little interesting that as a bad guy, when we got him in Civil War, he was, from what I understood, like a man of humble means that lost his family and then went on the deep end, off the deep end. But that is not at all, like, we don't get any sign from what we see in Civil War that he's any more than just some dude that
I thought they called him Baron. I remember him being like having that title because I don't remember being surprised during this episode when he said that he was a Baron.
Well, that's his name from the comics.
From the comics.
Oh. I don't know. I feel like it was really in the movie. I don't remember though.
But it just seems like all of a sudden now he's very wealthy. He has all kinds of things that he can do, and I don't know. It just was different to me. I could take his fighting skills because I guess he was like in a special unit, right? They said that he was like a military man in like a special fighting unit in Civil War, but I didn't realize that he was also very, very wealthy and had people that he could control and stuff like that. I don't know. So, yeah, that's just the way I feel. I felt like I wasn't super excited for this episode. I actually usually would watch it on Friday. I didn't even watch it till Saturday. Then when I watched it, like I said, I was kind of just like, it was just like on almost. It might hurt as well that my wife really does not like it. She watches these things with me, and she's like got no interest in this one. She was watched every other one with me, and she's like, I don't care to watch it. You can put it on, it's fine, but I don't really care to actually pay attention to it. It just has no I don't know, no redeeming qualities for her in a show. So I hate to be. Usually, I'm not the one that's the negative one. But for this show, I just don't. I hasn't struck me yet to where I'm like, oh yeah. I would say out of the 3 Disney things that we've gotten, I would include for Disney Plus. I would include like The Mandalorian, WandaVision, and this. WandaVision started off really high for me, right? and then slowly went down, 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 down. And then this comes out, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of excited, and then quickly just went down. We only get 3 more episodes though, so I mean, it's only six episode season, but I'm not
So,
super stoked for it.
I want Kyle to get a chance to speak at some point because he hasn't really said much. But I just wanted to, really quickly, the thing that this episode made me feel is that Ezra was right, and this should not be a micro series. This should be a television series. This shouldn't be a 1 season, 6 episode thing. And I think that the way that Marvel said they want to do it with like the cosmic stuff, I feel like all heroes that don't fit into that world, such as, your Spider-Mans, your Falcons, Winter Soldiers, uh, even maybe Hulk, I feel like that stuff could be TV series of stuff they're doing on Earth, and then leave the, you know, Doctor Strange's, the uh, Scarlet Witch, Thor, all that stuff for the movies, for like the grand theatrical stuff. Just that way we still get something, but give them a TV series where it's not huge and not like that important to the progression of this phase of the MCU. Like, I feel like if they didn't have to wrap this story arc up in 3 episodes, they probably could have spaced it out or done like a couple different stories, and then you go into next season and there's cliffhangers and stuff. I think it would make it flow better as a TV show if they did it that way rather than as a mini series or micro series, whatever it is. That's just my opinion of it.
I feel like the pandemic has kind of really affected the storytelling that they wanted to do. Like I know Black Widow's going to come out a little bit later than it was supposed to, and that's going to affect like the timeline. They had a very intricate storytelling that they wanted to do. Marvel wanted to do between the movies and these miniseries, and I wonder if that is affecting it.
So, one thing I was thinking when I was watching this last episode, and I don't know if it might redeem the series for me a little bit, is I was thinking about the super soldier serum and how it's different, right? They made a point to say that it was different than what Steve Rogers had received, and even like was it Isaiah Bradley, his name, and Bucky. And I was thinking, how could this whole thing tie into a greater universe of Marvel MCU? And I thought, what if they somehow were able to make it aerosol, so it could be like inhaled? And could that be like the rise of the mutants in this series, in the MCU? Whereas if it were something that could spread almost like a virus, which maybe they wouldn't go with virus because it might be too soon with what's going on in the world. But if it could be like a spreadable, like aerosol that was sprayed, maybe that's something that this group is trying to do, and it would affect people differently. So maybe some people would have absolutely no effect on them, but others who have like a specific gene, it would turn them into mutants.
So you mean kind of like in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with the Terrigen, and how some people had this ancient alien gene and they got woken up in the cocoon when they had the fish pills, whatever.
Yeah, I guess that would probably be. I forgot that even existed.
Yeah.
But I was just trying to feel like, how could this super soldier serum play into a larger scale in the whole MCU? And I've been an advocate to see the mutants and X-Men get brought into the MCU for a while now. So I'm just, every show I watch, I'm trying to figure out, how could this play into the mutants and how could this play into X-Men? And I was thinking that serum could be the key to it, if it somehow was a mass spread to all people. And they did say it was different. Maybe it would affect it.
The issue that they have now is you need a brand new scientist to go study this previous scientist's work, which has been blown up into millions of little bits, in order to mass create this serum now, because it sounded like he doesn't have any more. He was the only guy who knew how to make it, the only people that have it are the Flag Smashers, and they have a limited supply.
Yeah, and I was disappointed with that story arc too. I'm like, why kill the guy that we're finally? I know it's storytelling. It's like a trope in storytelling. That's what they always do. Someone starts giving you a little information, and you got to kill them, right?
Well, yeah,
And it's
but
like,
it wasn't even that. It's Zemo's motivation. Like he does not want super soldiers around.
Hmm.
It's not a trope. It's part of his story arc.
Which I think is part of the reason why he's helping Falcon and Winter Soldier against the Flag Smashers.
You know.
but I have to say, we didn't get very much of the Captain America, the new Captain America, the Johnny Walker Captain America,
Still a bad
and
guy.
I actually think he's one of my favorite characters in this series right now because there's less known about him, and he hasn't actually been doing jerky things.
Were you watching the last episode?
He held back when the guy spit in his face. He just like walked away.
Yeah, but before that, he was like, "Do you know who I am?" Like he was
He was
very
up in that guy's face with a
yeah.
temper.
He was super aggressive. That it was a
I
very much
I
a,
don't
this
know.
is not Steve.
And
This is
then
not Steve.
he was
Rogers.
Well,
really
it's not
short with
Steve. It's a
Hoskins
different-
too. Like
It's a different person, which I
He's-
think is nice that it's a
he's-
different person.
He's different, but in a negative way. And it's coming. It definitely came out last episode.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know. I think if he was, when he spit in his face, got spit in his face spat in. I thought, okay, we're gonna see who he really is, and he just walked away. He did not kill that guy or do anything like that. Which,
I mean,
I think he's trying
like,
to throw his weight around because he's trying to live up to this mantle of Captain
Yeah.
America. He's trying to like he knows no one would have done that to Steve Rogers, but they're doing it to him.
I know, but I also really wonder how much he can show his true self versus how much he has to hide it, because that room was surrounded by U.S. military. If he freaks out and lashes out, somebody might report back, and he is not Captain America, and he doesn't have the personality to be Captain America, and he might get that mantle removed.
Yeah, and in his ideas about going about things by any means necessary, because
Yeah.
if I forget exactly what he said, but basically, to get the evidence they need,
Mhm.
if they get deliverables, who's going to care about how it got done?
Yeah.
You can kind of start to see how that image is wearing down, not in the public eye, but definitely at least behind the scenes.
Yeah.
He's definitely a complicated character.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And
I find him the most interesting. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I still think Bucky's going to be the most interesting because I don't think that his redemption arc is done yet. It'd be really, really annoying if after episode 1, where they have him with that old man in the apartment building, there's not some kind of follow-up on all of that and, Bucky making amends. But I still think that Bucky is my favorite character.
Yeah, he stands out for sure. I did like in this episode that both Sharon Carter and Baron Zemo got arcs that fleshed out their characters a little more.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things, it's not a movie, and it's not a TV show, but because it's a little bit longer, you get to flesh out these secondary characters, and they did it in WandaVision too with Jimmy Woo, where you go back and you watch Ant-Man and the Wasp, and that guy is a cartoonish character, but then when he gets a little chance to kind of stand on his own and he's not just playing the foil to Ant-Man, he's actually pretty decent. And I'm glad that they're doing that with secondary characters in this show too.
So and then there was I gotta say it did end kind of interestingly because Wakanda, the people from Wakanda showed up. What was her name?
Okoye.
Ayo?
Oh, that wasn't Okoye. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I think that was the bodyguard from what's that one called? Captain America: Civil War.
So and they won Zemo, basically. So
Yeah.
that'll be interesting because I don't feel like Bucky is going to be really willing to give up Zemo at this point because he's still very much convinced that he needs Zemo to succeed.
Yeah.
But I think Falcon would be willing to give him up
Mm-hmm.
at this point because Falcon's very questioning the reason that he's even there and his ability to actually play nice and help them.
Yeah. So Logan agreed when
And
he's saying Bucky is the best part of the show, and then he's also said it's really good to see that Wakanda is in the show.
yeah, I'm curious how they're going to play it out.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I think it's set up well. I wanted to talk about, we kind of skipped over how, oh, what's her name? Is it Kelly? The Flag Smashers? Carly.
Carly.
Morgenthau.
Mm-hmm.
She had quite a steep turn because it
Yeah.
originally seemed like she was kind of doing everything in a good way, and then it seemed like her partner's like, whoa, hey, you just killed a bunch of
Yeah.
people, that's not what we're in this for, and she
Mhm.
doesn't really seem to care.
Which is interesting because now we're seeing that there might be a schism there with the
Mhm.
Flag Smashers.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe initially we thought they were the bad guys. Then it was like, well, maybe they're not really the bad guys. And now I kind of feel like maybe they're not really all the bad guys.
Yeah. There's a bit of Robin Hood going on with them because they were obviously smuggling those vaccines and stealing food for people in need, but
Mhm.
also you just beat up a bunch of government officials, and then in this last one you just killed a bunch of people they were working for the repatriation society, whatever that was called, who are trying
Mhm.
to help. Sure, there's government red tape and they can't do everything that the Flag Smashers want to do, but those are people who are trying to help these people that were affected by the blip, and you just killed them in cold blood, basically. So, but yeah, I feel like her partner is I feel like he'll have a cool story arc. I feel like he might end up helping the good guys, whoever the good guys end up being in this, after seeing Carly's dark side.
I think
Yeah.
Carly and this new Captain America are gonna end up being not so different.
I agree. I called it, I think, from episode 1 that I think Cap is a bad guy. I
What
didn't
did
call it
they
from
say
episode 1.
that-
I called it from early in episode 2.
What did they say was how much serum did they give to the Flag Smashers? 6 vials? No, he
There was-
said he made 20. Right?
Yeah.
So we know that at least was it 3 that they fought on top of the trucks. So at least 3 of the Flag Smashers actually have the serum.
Mm-hmm.
Whether the rest are still not distributed to people, or we just haven't met them yet.
Or they gave themselves up. What episode was it? Was it this past one, or was it episode 2 where one of the Flag Smashers just died because
Episode 2 at the very he gave up his life, and he was one that had super soldier serum.
Yeah, so it could very well be that some of them are already gone because they knew they had to give themselves up.
Yeah. So my prediction for end of the series is when Falcon becomes Captain America, he's going to end up with one of those super soldier serums, so that way he more resembles Steve Rogers in the speed, strength, agility department. I don't know. That's just my guess.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. See,
do you really think that they're going to let the Captain America mantle die and it will just be, Falcon and Winter Soldier?
no, but why does Sam have to take the super soldier serum?
So that way he's not a complete liability in the cosmic setting.
But you don't need him for a cosmic setting.
I guess, yeah, it's true. But I don't know. I feel like, because Cap, not saying that he held his own against Thanos, but when he caught Thanos' fist, Thanos was kind of caught off guard, and then just flicked him away with his other hand. But there's no way that Falcon would have been able to do that at all. He would have just been crushed.
Do you think that Sam needs to be Captain America for the MCU sake? And I'm talking like movie sake, box office draw. Probably not.
Probably not. No.
All right, like if he does, it's probably going to be more miniseries or stuff like that. Like maybe this isn't a recurring series where it's Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but maybe he gets his own series as Captain America. I don't think he necessarily has to get the serum to be able to do a better job of representing.
Yeah, it could be true.
Steve.
I do wonder if this Cap ends up being a bad guy, if they do just retire the name, because now people don't see Captain America as Steve Rogers, they see it as like a traitor. If he ends up being a bad guy, I don't know.
So he could end up being an anti-hero or just someone who isn't the traditional Captain America type. Because I figured, what's his? I wish I should have looked this up before I started talking. But he is a hero and he takes on another name. Oh, U.S. Agent. Like he could just end up as U.S. Agent and just not Captain America.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened.
He says, "I'm not good with this. Like, this role isn't for me. This is for you." Kind of thing.
Well, if it follows the comics, he'll have it taken away from him.
Or that.
Because he wasn't the idealistic superhero. He took matters to his own hands. So if it follows the comics, he'll probably lose it on his own. He won't have the chance to give it up.
Gotcha.
You think he'll die?
I don't think he'll die. No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't think he'll die. But maybe. I just think he won't get to keep the mantle. I think he'll just become U.S. agent. I mean, his costume already looks more like the U.S. agent costume than the Captain America costume anyway.
Anyone have anything else?
What do you expect from next episode?
I expect that there's going to be a disagreement as to whether they should give Zemo to Wakanda or not.
Yeah. I wonder. So we've been doing good. They've been every episode has been 45 minutes, which has been nice. I wish they would do that for Mandalorian.
I wish they would do that with better series.
Yeah. So
you know what's funny is I don't even know if this is a worse series story writing wise. I think it's just you're more of a fan of Star Wars.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like WandaVision all the way up until the end.
I don't think it's a better story. It's certainly not better from a cinema standpoint, but it's not worse from a storytelling standpoint, I don't think, than Mandalorian.
I think Mandalorian is hard to judge against, though, because the story was, I don't want to say disjointed, but every episode was not following the same arc in the same way that, WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier are. Because Mandalorian, it'd be like, oh, hey, we need to go find some Mandalorians on the fish world. Oh, but we're going to do a quick crash landing on an ice planet and fight some spiders. Oh, we need to go find Ahsoka. But first, we're going to, everything was kind of you had a lot of filler episodes, whereas with Wanda and Falcon, you do not have those filler episodes. So
Wanda, I'm taking that out of the equation. I think the story was really good there, but Falcon and Winter Soldier is very disjointed. They don't carry a lot of the same themes over from episode to episode.
But I think you're moving down a linear story arc. I don't think it's ever felt too disconnected, except for that jump into the second episode where all of a sudden Bucky is with Sam. Since they hooked up, they've kind of been on this roll to try and catch the Flag Smashers, and everything they're doing kind of leads them towards the next step, breaking Zemo out of jail, going to Madripoor, finding the super soldier serum. But I don't know.
Yeah, but do you think they were so angry at each other last episode that they said, after this we don't have to work together again. They were not angry at all. There was almost no animosity. There was like general annoyance on Sam's part that Sam went and did Zemo without him, but there was none of that anger.
During their couples counseling, you don't think there was that same level of distaste?
They didn't have couples counseling this episode.
No, but I'm saying in episode 2.
No, he's saying 2.
Like, I feel like there's always kind of been that tension between them. They're like, I hate you and I'll see you tomorrow. Like, kind of thing.
Yeah, but it was a lot. It was a lot more subdued this episode. You'd think over a series that it's going to build to a head and they're going to find a reason to be friends at the end. Yeah. But it's like this is the 3rd episode in, and it's almost a non-issue.
Yeah.
Sorry, I still think the story writing is just a little still disjointed on this show.
Yeah, I'm just saying I'm saying connected in terms of like Mandalorian. You have filler episodes. We haven't really had a filler episode of this yet. Like everything is still kind of walking down the same linear arc. Is all I was saying. Whether I'll agree with you that the story writing is not always the greatest in like how it connects theme to theme. That actually brings up a question. Are these all written and directed by different people, like each episode of Mando was? Or is this all just one director?
I think it's all one.
Okay.
I'm going to look right now, but I'm pretty
Because
sure...
I was like, that could explain the disconnect between the way that they're writing the characters, but if it's all one person, then they have no excuse.
So... What does that say? It's got to say, okay. Directed by Kerry Skoglund. Skoglund?
Every episode so far?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay.
Kerry Skoglund.
Yeah.
The writers are different.
Okay.
Maybe Kerry Skoglund. No, the writers are the same.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I think Kyle's definitely right. There is some disconnect between the episodes that way, but I was thinking more in terms of story arc.
Yeah, that too.
What does it say about this one? Doesn't. Oh no, it does say directed by Kerry Skoglund. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I expect like the start of next episode to kind of be a Wakanda dispute, but then I feel like there's gonna have to be some kind of big twist, like at the end of the episode that sets up the final 2.
Yeah, right. Like it seems like that's how it goes in these kind of series. Is it's not even the finale anymore; it's the final 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we talked about last week that it's already been said by ones that have worked on it that there's going to be a big reveal in episode 5. So that seems to be kind of carrying over too a little bit. That there's somewhere in the season there's going to be a big reveal, and then. Yeah, it's going to go into the last couple episodes or whatever. And
I don't even remember. We talked about what we thought the big reveal was last week, and I don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't really know at this point. It could go anywhere.
Yeah.
I said it was going to be a Steve Rogers cameo.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I thought that he was going to come and kind of give Bucky and Sam a tune-up to get them working on the same page again.
You're right.
That, right?
What was that?
I said you're almost expecting that, right?
Yeah. Which means I'm probably wrong, but...
Well, I'm kind of expecting it too. Like,
yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. Because they've kind of already teased it, right?
Mm-hmm.
In these episodes, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that.
Yeah.
I think just with this series, I wasn't expecting a ton of it, ton from it in general. And the fact that the way the story is being introduced is disjointed from how they wanted to, thematically, just plays into it, which is a bummer. But thus is life.
Yeah, I think after the end of WandaVision, I was really hoping for something really exciting to excite me about Marvel again, and this hasn't done it yet. Maybe it will, but right now it hasn't.
Yeah, it might just take like the next movie to kind of kick everything back.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Anyone have anything else before we finish? We wrap it.
Not a thing.
All right. So let us know what your thoughts were on episode 3. By the way, this one was titled The Power Broker. And yeah, we'd love to hear what you think. Are you enjoying the series so far? Where is it going to go? Let us know. Be sure to subscribe because we'll be talking about episode 4 next week, and it will notify you when we go live. And until next time, look, you know the whole hero thing is a joke, right?
Is big difference.